Hello. This week's on the 80s version of the Twilight Zone, and again I apologize that these are not in the broadcast order, but rather the order that they appear on my DVD set. We start with Lost and Found, which is a short episode about time travel. And it has Ray Burke as one of the time travelers, and he was on Star Trek and Babylon 5, and he's been around. He has a lot of credits to his name. The others are not quite as famous. And of course, this entire episode is just based on the whole causality paradox, in that if they had not gone to watch this famous Earth president, then she would never become Earth president, or it seems likely that she would never become Earth president. It's vaguely unsatisfactory in that way, but, you know, They don't delve into it. The episode was originally the segment was originally 8 minutes, and they cut it down for time to pad it into the 30 minutes. So it's only like 4 minutes long. The second part, on the other hand, is the Saucer of Loneliness. Now, when I saw this name, I thought saucer cat milk thing, like the cat lady thing, but it's not. And it is dedicated to Theodore Sturgeon, who wrote this and who died in 1985. He was a rather prolific sci-fi and fantasy writer, author of Sturgeon's Law, of course. And it stars Shelley Duvall, who we have, of course, seen in The Shining, and she's just fantastic. I mean, she's just a fantastic actress overall. She is an incredibly lonely person, and in the short story by Sturgeon, this is revealed gradually throughout the story, whereas in this, you just hit with it. Here's a brick of loneliness. There you go. Smack. And they work really, really hard on selling that point very early on. And she walks alone on this bridge and all this stuff. And she gets home to Nan Martin. Now, Nan Martin, of course, we have seen before. She was in The Incredible World of Horace Ford back in 1963. And she's done a bunch of other stuff, but it's really good to see her in here as well. So yay. Then Shelley encounters this lovely CGI flying saucer. And since the saucer is like moving around weirdly, that masks the fact that it isn't motion tracked to the shot of the camera. So that you can move the camera and it will still look semi-natural. Of course, it's not matching up well, so it does look a bit hokey, especially when Shelley is running, or Margaret is running, I should say. And the camera is moving a bit like this, but the saucer stays at the exact sort of same angle at the edge of the screen, even though the camera is moving upside down. Of course, it would be moving at the same rate, but it does not because it's not motion track. Oh well. Then you have these very long shots just holding the camera on Shelley Duvall's character as she is alone. So she's alone on the beach and she's alone walking the strip and like all this stuff. And it's heartbreaking to see. And then the moment that there's people around, it gets really bad. Hi, cat. And it's a sad life for her, especially when people harass her trying to, it's like a cat fight, trying to get the message from her. You have this man who comes up and invites her to dinner and wants to hang out with her, and he's very handsome and very cool. And of course, it's just a ruse for him to get the message out of her, and it's just a dashed hope, and she's very sad about it, and I get that. But then she has thrown these bottles into the ocean, and the receiver, that's the name of the character, Richard Libertini, who has gotten one of these and reads the message and feels it resonating with him. And he was in Popeye and Fletch. And he had a long career, actually. And then they have this sort of little CGI orb moment, and some of those shadows have been very heavily augmented. They're not CGI, they're just rotoscoped in. Frame by frame, someone has drawn in fingers, because they couldn't make that stick quite well. So that's laid on, what I think has happened, and this is just my idea, is that they are holding their hands like this. They post in the orb, which is a little graphical element, and then when they move their hands, this part of the hand is not, you can't match the object behind it, so they just draw in the fingers on top of the yellow orb thing. It doesn't look great, but it's not the point of the episode. So that is how the Sorcerer of Loneliness finally spills over, and she finds a tiny bit of happiness, we hope. And next week we're going back to the old Earth, and I look forward to seeing you then. Take care now.